You're listening to the Decentralized Talk Podcast, your crypto connection.
Decentralized Talk. Decentralized Talk.
All right, guys. It's that time again. Welcome to another outstanding episode of the Decentralized Talk Podcast. This is now our 24th weekly show in production. We are once again growing by even bigger leaps and even bigger bounds. We just had our best week over week with up to and including 4,000 listens. Pretty big for us. A big yay. So that means it's not just our moms and Aunt Linda anymore, guys. We're actually
so many leaps, so many bounds,
so many
boundless leaps. Numerous boundless leaps are happening right now.
So with that being said, I know you guys will have a tendency to take this to heart as investment advice, but this is not investing advice, no matter how much you want it to be or how badass it sounds. So keep that in mind, not investment advice.
I'll add in there, if you guys really listen to this on a weekly basis and you've heard my investments, you don't want my investment advice. Even if I wanted to give it to you, trust me, you don't want it.
I think everybody's feeling that right now. Everybody's down. But that's why we got a show to you today about the business use cases of your different cryptocurrencies. That's why we're all here, right? It's for implementation, right? That's what's going to grow this. That's why when you buy in the bear market, you hope that the idea of these business use cases take hold for you and your coin, that you're placing your bets on your horse, Seabiscuit coin. Just start that.
It's probably already a thing
right now. Horse racing wasn't my thing this year. So,
has it been your thing in the past?
Yeah. I know you were like an international horse racing mogul.
Your thoroughbreds aren't doing so good this year, Tater.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for tough years for the long faces.
A bunch of quarter horses.
Needless to say, he has a lot of glue now.
A lot of glue. I also have a lot of taco meat.
Oh God.
So it is totally legal, by the way, for those of you interested in buying horse meat. Horse meat, it's legal in Mexico, and they're trying to legalize it back here in America.
Oh.
But it actually makes sense. I mean, it's not as crazy as you think. If you have a horse and it dies, it's illegal to eat it.
Well, I mean, this is coming from a vegetarian here, but what makes it any different than a chicken or a cow or a pig or a dog?
Exactly.
Or a cat or
different species.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still an animal, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only thing that makes a difference is the role that society puts on it.
Right.
I would try it.
We're going on.
And what if you wanted to take it to an animal shelter? That's the same thing I get. No, so we're going a little off topic, but I see like those the female hunters that like they shoot a unicorn or something like that, and then they take all the pictures with it.
Yeah, I keep seeing those unicorns getting shot, man. It's fucked up.
Or a giraffe or whatever, some fake animal like a giraffe.
Yeah.
And so they shoot these giraffes, and everybody's tripping out about like, why would this person shoot a giraffe to kill it? Is it like bloodlust? But keep in mind that those trips raise tens of thousands of dollars for those impoverished communities where they're hunting, and that meat all goes to feed all those people in those communities too. So, I mean, it's, if you don't like hunting, you're not going to like it. Not going to change your mind. But if you get the impression that they're just out there just like slaughtering giraffes.
Yeah, my thing is, what was that picture of the guy that had killed the lion or whatever a couple years back?
The dentist.
Yeah, and it went viral, and everybody was hating on him while they sat and like ate their cheeseburger. It's like, oh, the lion is so much more sacred than the cow.
Mm-hmm.
While I eat my Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna just outraged that this lion got killed. Just an animal like anything else. I mean, but that's a topic for another crypto show.
I live in a glass house.
All right, so yeah, let's get
animal safety coin.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Trader's Glass House is adorned with all kinds of dead animals, trophy deer.
Yeah, gerbils, hamsters,
Horses.
little bunny rabbits, horses. Yeah, just
There's a half horse in his living room.
full size stuffed horses just in his living room.
I hate it
Can't even
anyway.
walk through it. It's just horses
I'm a rebel.
everywhere.
Eating horse meat.
He's eating good for days.
So,
All right, let's get back
so
to crypto.
business use cases, which is kind of what the tangent that took us off on.
I don't know how.
God, no, I don't know how we got off on that either. Glue. I wanted to say the word Preakness. I think that had a lot to do with it. Anyways, business use cases, payments. What are some of the upcoming business use cases in payments associated with crypto, or what are you guys seeing in the marketplace in terms of payments? How is that growing and changing?
Yeah. I mean, I think one main thing to point out is like business use cases in crypto versus business use cases in blockchain. I think the real thing to focus on is its business use cases with blockchain technology. Crypto is a way to fuel a company, and it can incentivize to fund the business, but it's not really the crypto that is running the business. It's not the coin that's running the business. That's there to incentivize or to fund or to use as fuel for the network. But it's the blockchain technology that's really has the use case there. So payments was, I mean, that's the big one, right? That's the original way that blockchain was meant to be used with Bitcoin is a means of transaction. So, I mean, how many coins out there say that they're the way for borderless, secure, peer-to-peer transactions? I mean, 800 or so. So it's definitely a big one. Definitely a big one.
Literally everything on the 3-on-3. And real quick, before we get into this segment, let me go over. I'm just going to run down the list. We got a list here of about 10 or 15.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to focus on every single one.
We don't have to talk about all of them, but I want to read the list out just for people who are listening, so you'll know is the thing that you care about. Maybe you're really into voting or tokenizing real world assets, but you're not so into payments. Because if you're more advanced into crypto, you probably don't really give a crap about payments. You know what that is. You know, you've known that's probably one of the very first things you got into. But maybe supply chain, voting, entertainment, content industry, data ownership, gaming, and the gambling industry. These are all business use cases. Identity verification, tokenizing real world assets, land registry, public record, private records, privacy, Internet of Things, smart contracts, nonprofit organizations. So the next time somebody says to you, that cryptocurrency it's a Ponzi scheme. That cryptocurrency is it's a scam. And what is it? I don't understand. What does it do? Or how, I don't understand why it's money, but you can't see it or touch it. You can give them this list of things and say, no, these are all the use cases. These are all the real world things that you can do with cryptocurrency. That you can also the thing that's really special too. And I'll get off my little soapbox, I promise. But the thing that's special about cryptocurrency is that among each of these different use cases, right? Privacy, Internet of Things, smart contracts, storage, decentralized internet, entertainment, data ownership, gaming, the gambling industry, store of wealth, right? Payments, that kind of stuff. Some of those properties exist with diamonds, right? Like maybe a store of wealth or an intrinsic value. Some of those properties exist within cash. Some of those properties exist within gold or other like commodity assets. But the really special thing about cryptocurrency is that it really takes the best of all of these different means of conducting a transaction or storing wealth or anything that a currency or a thing of value can be, and it highlights it.
Yeah. I mean, my main takeaway from researching for this episode was that like these businesses are already out there, and there's already such a thing as voting. There's already an entertainment industry. What we see now is that there's companies out there that are trying to integrate blockchain technology to make it more decentralized, so the power goes back into the people's hands instead of big corporations, which I think more and more people are wanting nowadays. More and more people are not trusting their government, or not trusting big banks, or not trusting large corporations. So these businesses and business models are already out there, and it's just we're seeing a new asset class emerge that are trying to solve real world problems in a decentralized way, which is amazing, honestly. So let's see.
Not only giving the power back to the people, but also efficiency. I mean, that's another, especially like supply chain management. I know that's a big thing with them is efficiency.
Yeah,
and some of the other platforms as well. I mean, each industry has a different kind of utilization of blockchain that can potentially revolutionize that industry, or at least better it in some way.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people in the crypto space, a lot of new people that may not understand what it's all about, they'll probably just look at it from an investment point of view of like, oh, I can buy this cryptocurrency and then it might go up in value. It might. But I mean, at the end of the day, you could buy this cryptocurrency and use it for, whatever specific use case that business has. You don't have to just see it as an investment. And it shouldn't just be seen as an investment. If it's only seen as an investment, then it will only always be a speculative investment. There has to be a business there, and it has to be being used. If it's utilized, then it will grow. And if you do invest in it, then that will grow. But it has to be used. It can't just be, the crypto space can't be just a bunch of investments. It has to be actual companies that are producing some kind of value, or else it's all going to fail,
Yeah, and another thing, I totally agree. Another thing that's really important about this list is that when you're trying to funnel through or filter through the 10 billion altcoins out there right now,
I think it's like 2,600.
I was close.
Oh yeah, you rounded up.
So 2,600 or whatever.
I could be really wrong on that. I was just like a total guess.
That was an assertive guess.
Yeah, I thought you were like reading it as a fact.
That was a very assertive guess.
I'm literally going to find out right now.
2,612.
Definitely 2002
right
picks.
Now 2,609. 3 died.
3 just died. That was because they didn't have the correct business use cases. But as you're filtering through all these different coins, you're racking your brain to find that one that you buy for 0.00045 cents. I don't know, like Zen fan. And then you hope that it's going to do something big someday. You put a good size investment in this, and you hope this is the one that's going to blow up and make you rich. You got to look at all of these different business use cases, because these are the things that are going to make it or break it.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm wrong. 1,600. Man, we've lost a bunch. We've lost a bunch because there was 2,500.
Did we read a statistic?
We lost 1,000 just since you said 2,600. That's a lot. I mean, that was quick.
No, I do remember looking at it a couple weeks ago, and I saw 2,500, and so I assumed it would be 2,600. But no, it looks like the current count from June.
That article must be from like 2 years from now.
No, I don't know.
From the future.
From
Skynet article.
April 10th, it was 1,500. Okay, yeah, as of now, at least on CoinMarketCap, there's 1,600. So we'll go with that.
All right. Are we still talking about payment coins?
Oh, no, I think we can go to supply chain. Yeah, let's just start going down the list and just talk about our thoughts on it.
Kind of order.
I like supply chain use case coins. I think that's going to be a huge industry for blockchain.
Same here.
And,
blockchain.
I mean,
so break that. What does that mean? Supply chain use case coins. What is that?
Well, like Walton Chain, where they use a lot of the RFID technology, so they track merchandise for companies, be it cell phones, clothes. They track it from the manufacturer all the way to the department store, and even after that. So I mean, stolen merchandise too. I mean, they track it all, and if it falls off the assembly line, you lost one, and I mean you can.
And it's on an open, immutable ledger, so you can't cheat and say like, "Oh, that didn't fall off and break." Think about it like you order something, and you have a immutable open record that tells you what condition that was in when it left the shipping plant until it got to your door.
Yeah, salad companies need to start doing that so we don't get E. coli outbreaks every 6 months.
I know. Weren't you the one telling the story, Tater, about it was some food product that went out. I swear it's in one of our episodes, and with blockchain they were able to figure out where it went. All the E. coli lettuce or whatever went way faster than it. It would have taken them 2 weeks, but it took them 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think that was something that I experienced. Maybe it was an article that I read, but I did work with a bunch of the salad vendors for many of the manufacturers for the big supermarket chains, and we did have issues where because with salad you have lot numbers. Well, all
rots.
Yeah, basically, that's what it means. It's got a shelf life before you gotta get rid of it. But with that stuff, all that, it has lot numbers associated with it. So that way, if there is some kind of an outbreak, you can track it back to the farm, or the processing plant that it was at before it got to the supermarket. What about voting? Oh, voting, dude, voting is my favorite one.
Mine too, but I also think it has the most barriers to entry. I think that's going to be the hardest one to take root, just because the government aren't going to want that to happen. What government is going to want like a totally free, open ledger of
Russia
where you can't cheat the system? Like what? No government's going to be like, that's what we want. We want total transparency. No, that's like opposite of what they want.
If they put voting on a blockchain, that would be the greatest thing, where everybody could literally.
It would change the world. It would literally change.
Votes come in.
It would literally change the world.
You wouldn't have to have some, volunteers at the place, like tallying all the votes and hanging chads and all this goofy shit. Mm-hmm. It just would either be or it wouldn't be.
Exactly. There'd be no more of that like disputable, like, oh well, this happened and now. Well, they won the popular vote and they didn't win the whatever vote or, whatever, all this sketchy
that would
things.
Still happen.
Well, I guess so. But there's just sketchy things in every election that it always happens. There's always some kind of sketchy shit going on.
Yeah.
Look at the last thing with Hillary and Bernie and stuff. There were so many instances where there was talks of like collusion and votes not being tallied and all this stuff. That would never happen if blockchain.
Super delegates. Oh, you remember that super delegate bullshit?
Yeah, some bullshit.
That was crazy. I just remember that was the first time I'd ever even heard of super delegate. I was like, what the fuck is a super delegate?
Yeah, how can you like win?
Doesn't matter. Hillary has them.
Yeah, how can you like win the election before the election is even
before it even starts?
Seems just odd to me. But no, voting I think is one of the best use cases. Just definitely one of the most like globally revolutionary use cases.
Imagine if some of the countries that we have influence on around the world, smaller countries, and we know that they're super corrupt. Like think about like smaller. I'm talking about smaller countries like Egypt, right? Or like Libya.
Antarctica.
No one has control over Antarctica.
Get me started on Antarctica
until I have my child there. Then I will own
a child into
Antarctica.
So you sneak a pregnant woman into Antarctica.
Yeah, I'm going to name the child Antarctica. Queen of Antarctica.
That's going to be really frustrating to call that child all the time.
I'll just name her Ant for sure.
Him, Queen of Antarctica.
Hey, it's 2018. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Stop placing your gender roles on my children, bro. My unborn child.
Stop putting your cis male stereotypes on him.
Okay. With all my dead animals on the wall.
All right. What about entertainment content industry? Entertainment industry is, I think, really good for the entertainment industry. It's really crappy for all of us who really like pirated music.
Well, I think we talked to Music Coin. That was one great use case for it right there.
Tron's doing. There's a lot of coins that are trying to do that.
Steam it.
I think
Mines.
Or Steam it. I think it's a great use case for it. Again, it's a struggle for these things to take hold because you're putting power into the people's hands, the community, instead of large corporations. So like you're making it where the content creators are actually getting compensated real time for their content, as opposed to a middleman in the middle taking half or more of the cut. So if somebody creates a song, they're getting compensated from the person who listened to the song, as opposed to being compensated from a company that's playing the song, charging the person that's listening to the song. There's always that middleman. And so like there's always barriers of entries into these use cases. But if they can take off, then, all these things can change the industries completely. The entertainment industry would never be the same if people are compensated peer-to-peer instead of through a large corporation. But there's a lot of them trying it. Music Coin was one. Video Coin is another one. What's the tube?
Red Tube?
My God. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. Move Tube or something like that.
Moozoob?
Moozoob? That's it. Or Tron. There's a bunch of ones doing it. So yeah, it would revolutionize the industry for sure.
What about things like data ownership? How is that changing?
What I was thinking of about this is, so right now, a couple months ago,
I'll say this:
2400.
Most people want to own their data, so I don't understand.
Yeah, well, but they don't. Facebook does, or Instagram does, or Google does.
Yeah.
Oh,
so you don't.
okay.
So you're not owning your data at all. But with blockchain technology, you can. You can own your data because it can be distributed through this private ledger, and that way nobody can see it unless you want them to see it. So I think now with the whole Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica scandal, I think more and more people are wanting some sort of privacy to their data instead of going through large corporations. So it's another.
That's tough. That's gonna be a double-edged sword. Because
again,
I like getting advertised. I didn't think I would like this, a couple years ago when they started talking about doing it. But I like getting advertisements for shit that I was already looking at. I think it's cool. Like when I'm surfing the internet, and a week ago I was looking at pressure washers from Home Depot or something.
Red Tube.
No, pressure washers from Home Depot. And then when I'm surfing the internet, I get another advertisement for a pressure washer. I think that's cool. And as a person who owns a business, I think being able to target my advertising is better. And if you're in the market for
convenient.
Yeah, if you're in the market for services, you need somebody to do some plumbing at your house. It's nice to see that somebody has a business that cares enough or has figured it out enough or is reputable enough to be able to afford the advertising to market to you.
I think that's
but
part
even
of
that,
it, though, that
that can be.
You have the opportunity to choose at this point. You could say, I will allow them to see this information and this information only, or this information here, instead of really not having the option of sharing it, just it being out there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Whereas Facebook, you just either blanket have to say, yes, all my data, or I'm not going to be on Facebook.
Yeah, I totally understand the convenience, and I like it too. Google knows every single thing about me.
Yeah, same here.
But I love the convenience, but at the same time, it's scary sometimes. Like the other day, when I was in New Orleans, we stopped at this little shopping center, and we were talking about. We had stopped.
I know where you are. I
Yeah.
see you.
Well, we stopped and went in this little cookie place and had some gelato and stuff like that. And then when we got out, we were like, okay, we want some actual food though, like to go. And we started talking about there's a Chinese restaurant in that shopping center, Yummy Yummies, I think it was called. And so we started talking about, oh, well, what about this Yummy Yummies? I didn't Google it. I didn't unlock my phone. I didn't look it up on my phone, anything like that. And then when I pulled out of the parking, so we got stuff at Yummy Yummies. When we pulled out of the parking lot, Google asked me to review Yummy Yummies. I never Googled it. I never looked it up, asked about it, anything like
Probably
that.
connected to their Wi-Fi, I imagine.
Nope. Because my Wi-Fi's off. I turn my Wi-Fi off.
You know what it is, right? You got your GPS on, right?
Yeah, you would think that, but I was in a shopping center with like 6 to 10 more stores, and I didn't even go.
Oh,
to
your
Yummy
credit
Yummies
card.
or bring my phone.
Could have been
Nope.
your card.
No, I didn't.
But
I
see,
didn't even
you know
walk
how
in
that
the
works,
store.
right?
I was
Like,
just talking.
I only
about
know this from our marketing people at work. They put up basically a GPS net zone. So like Yummy Yummies would say, anybody that is in this Google area of 15 miles of our store or whatever, will
I wonder if they could do like 15 feet.
15 feet, 15 miles or whatever. So yeah, they can set up a net zone for Google or whatever, and if you go within that region, it'll automatically send you an invite or not an invite, but something like that.
yeah, and that's probably what happened, but I just found it kind of odd. I think I watched a video the other day where this guy was talking about how like Google listens even when your phone's locked and stuff, and he did a little test. He doesn't own a dog, has never researched about dogs or dog toys or anything like that. And so he locked his phone and just set it on the table and just talked about dog toys for like 5 minutes. And then when he opened up his phone, he went to a website. All the ads were for dog shoe toys, and he had never Googled that or looked it up or been even interested in it. He just picked a topic at random to talk about. So I don't know. Is it true? I don't know. But I like the convenience of these companies having my information. It does make my life easier in certain aspects, but at the same time, it scares me that they know so much about me, more than I know about myself, basically. Like, Google's my therapist. Like, Google, why do I feel this way?
Google's your therapist and the mirrored reflection of your hideous Dorian Gray life. all in one.
It's not a very good therapist, because I'm like, Google, how do I get out of this depression? And they're like, leave a review for this Chinese restaurant.
Google, how do I get out of this depression? Do you want some dog toys?
Chinese food. I mean, those are both great. I mean, the friendship of a dog. Maybe you don't have a dog,
Oh, yeah.
Or cheer your dog up. You go play with your dog. Brings your mood up.
You're right. Damn, Google, you are on top of it.
People with dogs live longer.
If you just listen and do what Google says, you'd be better off for it.
You definitely don't want to piss Google off, that's for sure.
What are the business use cases in crypto for land registry and public record? That's an interesting one.
Why I added this one to the list is because in some countries there's a lot of hoops to jump through for land registry or real estate registration, something like that.
God's land, bro.
And so putting that on a blockchain would make it way more efficient, that you don't have to have so many middlemen in the, doing, you got to have 6 middlemen, a tax guy and then a regulation guy that says, you can't build here because of this law or whatever. Having it all on a blockchain run by smart contracts could just take all those middlemen out. It seems like it could make it way more efficient. And also public records, we're talking about voting and stuff. You could have that stuff on the blockchain. It would
save the trees,
solve a lot of issues. Yeah,
save the trees. We care about the environment on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Don't forget the Lorax. You guys don't remember the Lorax?
I definitely remember the Lorax. Yes.
Yeah.
Lorax is my dude.
Me and the Lorax go way back.
Yeah, that's my boy.
DJs. Okay, so what about the IoT? Internet of Things. Give me a business use case, Internet of Things. I mean, that pretty much encompasses everything that we've talked
Yeah,
about.
I mean, there's all kinds. Micropayments. Of course, that goes back into the payments one, but that's one IOTA is already doing.
Internet of Things, I think, is going to be one of the most successful business use cases for blockchain, I think, because the Internet of Things is in its infant stages, really, but we already see it now more and more. And I think it's just perfect for blockchain, honestly, to have all these little things communicating with each other. Microtransactions are the way to do it. And like, what better microtransactions can you have other than like a cryptocurrency? So no, I think Internet of Things will be. I think that's one that's going to be the most successful. It has the least barriers to entry. I think it has the less things. It has the least things working against it than most of the other business use cases.
So let me tangent here real quick on micropayments. I was having a conversation with a guy this past weekend about the U.S. immigration is like a real hot topic, and so somebody said that what they anticipate is that that our president, the U.S. President Trump, will find a way to basically tax money that's being sent from the United States to Mexico, because that's his big issue, right? Is that we're not a lot of people that are making money and they're sending the money back to Mexico, and that's part and parcel as to why Mexico doesn't. They want to encourage illegal immigration into the United States, because a lot of those people who illegally immigrate into the United States they send all that money back to Mexico. And so they said, well, one of the ways that the current administration could solve that would be to put a tax or levy some kind of a tariff or something of that nature on all the transactions that go from the United States to Mexico, just all of them. And I thought, man, that would be the ultimate kickstart for cryptocurrencies, because the moment that happened, all of the illegal immigrants in the United States, in other countries, trying to send money back home, they would send it through Bitcoin, or they would send it through like a Monero. And the person was saying, "Well, look, nobody even knows about cryptocurrencies. Why would they do that?" But that's what I'm saying is they would find out rapidly.
Yeah,
it's just like a website with free movies. Like nobody knows what it is because it changes every other week, but people figure it out super quick.
And there's definitely people that know about cryptocurrencies, because there's about $10 billion in the last 24 hours being traded on it. So, but no, I hear what you're saying. I think that's a really good point. I mean, I don't keep up with politics too much, so I didn't even know about that. But no, I think that would be a really good example of a real world problem that blockchain could fix. And the problem is that these people from these lower income countries come to higher income countries to make money to send back to their families. If the country tries to put a tariff or a tax on that, then they're going to just bypass that completely and just go with cryptos, and just another nail in the coffin for fiat.
Yep. And that would be a very large scale, big, massive.
Yeah. So bring it on, Trump. Do that. You should do that, Trump. Very good idea. Very good idea.
Another Internet of Things use case, I know the IoT chain, they do security through cryptography with the Internet of Things. So they'll secure all your devices through their blockchain. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like they interact with each other? Like
basically like an antivirus tool but they'll interact with your device to secure it, basically.
Oh yeah, GoDaddy has that now, so you can get an SSL certificate on your website. But you can also now, for an additional cost, of course, GoDaddy has a like a blockchain integration, so you can actually it's like a triplicate copy of your website on a blockchain, and as changes are made, they show up on this blockchain, and so when it refreshes, it's balanced against these other copies, and so that way it deters any kind of hacking or kind of fiddling with your website. I think it's pretty cool. I hate that they charge an extra fee for that. It's like a bank trying to charge me extra money. Like a bank would charge me like a cybersecurity fee. But you don't protect my money because I pay you the cybersecurity fee. Protect my money because you're a fucking bank.
And it's your job.
Yeah, it's your job, bank.
Right? That's why you don't use a bank.
That's right. That's why you go full crypto.
Right?
I'm buying everything with Linda coin.
There you go.
Starting today.
That is going to be tough.
What about things like healthcare, cybersecurity, financial services?
Yeah, like private data.
Yeah,
obviously,
like private.
It couldn't be a private blockchain. I guess you could encrypt it within the chain.
Well, some coins like I don't know if it is Zenfin at this point. I've gotten so sick of that coin at this point. But some of these coins have both a public and private ledger. They got a simultaneous ledger, so that way.
I know Linda does that. Monero does that. There's a bunch of coins that do that.
Well, and then like Dragon Chain, there's coins that help companies produce their own blockchain. So,
yep.
I mean, you got a wide array of ways to go on
the ecosystem kind of coins.
Would you want your healthcare data on a blockchain?
Yeah, I think it'd be way more secure that way than through the servers.
Yeah, but if somebody found it, you could be like, oh yeah, like let's say you got HIV or something like that, and then they found a cure for HIV, and then the records got hacked. It was on a blockchain, but somebody can go back and say, oh shit, you had HIV, bro. I don't want you to work here.
What
they found a cure.
What's a more likely?
It's money.
Yeah, $2 million injected directly into your bloodstream. I think it was Cartman or what?
Yeah.
But I mean, what's the more likely scenario? The blockchain gets hacked, a private blockchain gets hacked, or the servers for whatever hospital or wherever your medical records are get hacked?
As slow as the hospital that I go to, I don't even know if they have computers. I think everything
all
is
paper
copies. They have to they send it over by a bike messenger to the other clinics that I go to, and
I mean,
there's a lot of bird shit out here. What's that for? Oh, it's carrier pigeons.
We're carrier pigeons.
They're just sending over your shots.
There's already cryptos out there.
Dove season.
But there's already cryptos out there that do this. Medical chain is one that is blockchainizing.
Oh, there's so many
medical
healthcare
records.
coins
Yeah,
out there.
There's a lot.
I Googled it earlier and came across a website that was dedicated purely to that, and I couldn't even scroll all the way down. I got tired of scrolling before I got through all of them.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know why I would, but I still don't know why I would want. What's the benefit of putting my healthcare records on a blockchain?
It's way more secure. Way more secure than on a server.
Yeah. It's way more secure for somebody to try to change it.
How? If it's
because
it's immutable.
It's immutable. Yeah, so it's more secure. Right. So it's a
ledger.
So it's immutable, so nobody can change my healthcare records. But that doesn't mean that nobody can look at them.
How? What do you mean?
The blockchain.
It's a private blockchain.
Yeah, but if you hack into the server that holds the blockchain,
there's no server. That's
multiple servers.
Blockchain. They're probably.
If it's a private blockchain, it's just a ledger.
But a private blockchain is still going to be distributed through the network. You have your wallet, and that's how all the.
Okay, so you're saying there's a copy of my health records on every doctor in the hospital system's computer.
There's a copy of everyone's records that's encrypted using cryptology. So no, it's not that anybody can see them just because it's being distributed. Just like Monero, I mean Monero is a private blockchain, but you can't ever see who transacted with who.
Yeah, but are
even
these
though it's
blockchain?
being
I'm
run
saying,
on
are
all
these?
computers.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Are these healthcare blockchains going through the steps to, um, like deep dive all of the different? Because there's no transactions on it. I mean, it's just records of data. So
Well, I mean,
what would
it doesn't have to
hide
be.
those?
I mean, at the end of the day, a block is just a block of data. You can have anything in it. It can have transactions, or it can have medical records. And if it's a private blockchain,
So
then
that would mean my medical records are on like 100 different computers, but they're encrypted.
but they're encrypted, exactly. And
So somebody broke the encryption.
how?
That's not
That's
necessarily
never
true.
happened in the history of blockchain. Nobody has ever had.
51% attack.
It's never happened, though. In 10 years, it has never happened.
We mean it's never happened to Bitcoin, but it's definitely happened to other coins.
Their blockchain was hacked, or an exchange was hacked. Because exchanges,
They were hit with a 51% attack. The blockchain was hit with a 51% attack.
who did that happen to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I don't think off tangent. Anyways, I don't think that matters because you're looking at it the wrong way. Anyways, if somebody does the private blockchain, yeah, they might set it up where it's spread out across the computers. They might also set it up where it's on a one server or set up with a failover system on their server and other servers. There's going to be no instance of a 51% attack because that blockchain's not going to be public. Nobody's going to be mining it. They're going to have to set up some other sort of attack. It's going to be more. It wouldn't be a proof of work blockchain.
Oh yeah. You're right.
It would be.
It
wouldn't be proof of stake, proof of anything.
It wouldn't be proof of anything.
Blockchain. Yeah. So not only it's more secure because not only is it behind the cryptography of the blockchain, but it's going to be behind their private network as well. So where at this point, if your files are on the server at the hospital, they've only got to hack into their network and then get into the system. As where if it's on a blockchain, then they have to hack the network of the hospital. Then after they get past that, they'll have to hack the blockchain itself to get your information out of it. So it's a double layer of security, really. But it doesn't really matter because the easiest way to get information is through the user, not the actual system itself. That's the main point of failure. So, I mean,
Always.
it's catch-22. But in theory, it is more secure as long as somebody doesn't put their password on a Post-it note on their computer and throw it in the trash and then somebody finds it.
Yeah.
I wonder how many hackers just try Welcome One. They just try Welcome One.
I think
like
password
100,000 times a day until eventually they just catch somebody in between the transition phase of
I guarantee you
forgot an
there's
IT guy, and then
millions of bots out there that do that.
Well, I read an article about this guy who was a security specialist, and he would go basically test people's networks. And the way he got into most networks was not, brute force attacks on their network. He would go sift through their dumpster and people's trash and just find somebody where somebody wrote the password down. He goes, that is the easiest way to do it. He goes, every time I just go out to the dumpster, and when they take the trash out, I just start sifting through everything until I found the password. And he goes, it never failed.
That's crazy. I totally believe it, though. I totally believe it.
stinky job.
Yeah.
That job stinks.
I bet he made a lot of money, though.
Oh yeah, some of that dirty money.
Actually, the article turned out to be he actually, from that, started dumpster diving and pulling out like
Babies?
printers and stuff like that and refurbishing them, and turned it out making more money dumpster diving, redoing old electronics and selling them on Craigslist than actually being a security specialist. He said he made 6 figures. So
Wow.
interesting little concept there.
He also has 7 kids now, all dumpster babies.
But
Dumpster baby.
charitable guy.
Yeah. It's making the world a better place.
What about charities? This one I like. I think
Yeah.
Visibility.
This one I think is very needed, And also I think there's going to be a barrier of entry because these donation nonprofits right now, they don't want this shit either. Just like a government doesn't want voting to be on a blockchain. They don't want the world to see that they're not spending their money on whatever cause they're supposedly supporting. So no, I think nonprofits, donations, stuff like that, that's a real world problem that blockchain could solve is having an open ledger that everyone can see and that's immutable, where you can really, really, truly see where your money's going when you donate to one of these large nonprofits, instead of just saying like, here's my money, and then just hoping they do something with it, when really it's just going to the bank account.
Yeah, I'd like to see local governments, and I know the federal government couldn't do it because we put a lot of money into military shit or like space programs and that kind of stuff. That I get it, like it's important to keep that secret. But like for a state government or a local government, why is there any reason for them to not show their entire books fully on a blockchain? I should be able to go into a website right now and see every freaking penny of tax dollars exactly where it goes.
They basically make schools do that, so why shouldn't they have to?
Yeah. It's because they're the government, bro. They can just do whatever they want.
It's God's land, bro.
Yeah, bro.
All right. So, what are some of the business use cases for blockchain and for cryptocurrencies in the retail sector?
Purchases. I think that goes straight back to the very first one we talked about. I mean, other than, well, actually the first two we talked about, payments and what was the other one?
Supply chain.
Supply chain. Yeah, I think those are the two key ones for retail.
Yeah. And I think another thing, like having to do with the payments and retail and all that, is there's such a large percentage of unbanked in the world. And so cryptocurrency kind of solve that problem. You don't have to have a checking account. You can just have a wallet on your phone that has whatever cryptocurrency in it, and you can use it to buy and sell goods. And you go to a street vendor, you buy their goods just using your cryptocurrency, scan something, send something. It just takes out the need for a bank when there's already billions and billions of people that don't have banks in the world.
Also, I think LendaCoin brought this up, and I'd never really thought about it until they did. Fraud and false identity. I know just where I work, a lot of the time we have people that come in and, using somebody else's credit card, and basically we get screwed out of that. So, they pay with cryptocurrency. There are no refunds. It's great for the actual business.
Yeah. And I think that's one we didn't hit on, is identity verification, stuff like Civic. Or did we hit on that?
I don't know. I don't remember it.
It's on the list. But yeah, identity verification I think is a big business use case too, is being able to verify someone's identity using blockchain and a mutable ledger that has everybody's identity information. Basically, you'll have this digital identity card that can't be changed because it's on an open ledger. That's definitely
mark of the beast.
Something that could be beneficial and more efficient than the current system we have.
Oh, we went a totally different direction there.
Did y'all talk about gambling?
No. I think we skipped over that one. But yeah, no, I think
my favorite thing.
That was
back to the horses.
When we were talking about
we did gambling one episode.
Oh
yeah,
we did a whole episode on gambling. So I think
that's another one where like that's one of the more. It was Internet of Things when we were talking about Internet of Things. I think that's will be one of the most successful, easiest ones to put on the blockchain. I think gambling, same way. Same. I think the gambling industry could really benefit from blockchain because there's so much sketchy stuff that goes on in the gambling. And not just gambling, but gaming industry as a whole too. There's such a big mobile gaming sector, video games, all those little microtransactions that happen on in-game purchases and stuff like that. They can all be put on a blockchain and use cryptocurrency instead of fiat. I mean, if you're going to, instead of using a currency that just keeps inflating, why not use a currency that deflates?
Yeah, well, and recently, I don't know if y'all probably don't keep up with gambling as much as I do, but the Supreme Court recently overturned a law that had to do with sports betting in the U.S. So now it's basically on the states to decide if they want to allow sports betting. It's not illegally
Federally.
So there's a lot of states that are actually going to start allowing sports betting, and that's a huge market. And how long before regular gambling is going to be up to the states? Never know.
Very interesting.
I know I'm going to bet on some sports.
So out of this whole list, like the scariest, spookiest one out of all these things, it's kind of a combination of some of the other ones that we talked about. To me, is the blockchain tracking, the GPS, and that kind of stuff. So, we touched on it in terms of manufacturing when we talked about salads and RFID, right? Being able to identify lot numbers of a salad instantly, versus it taking 48 hours by the time you've already got E. coli in your system to know. They could even link it to your credit card and send you an email. Hey, you probably got E. coli, so you should go get that checked out. Here's a link from a doctor near you with a little ad from Google. But the crazy thing to me is, and Lindacoin interview, they were talking about this as well. Blockchain tracking. So when you're using their coin and you're staking it or mining it, if you're mobile mining, then they know exactly where you're at. And so they can target you with ads, and they can target you with like your Yum Yum or whatever it was. What is it?
Yummy, yeah.
Yum sauce?
All right. Well, so that was a really good segment, guys. I think we learned quite a bit about different business use cases. And had a lot
I learned that there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
a
ton of ways you can use blockchain technology.
Exactly. And one of the craziest ways, so there's like a bug crawling on my junk here. It really was. It was fucking crazy. Like a
Crab.
June bugs are out here. Yeah. I don't know. It looked like dick lice. I'm not sure. All right. We'll cut that out. So,
Dick Lice comment is definitely making it.
all right.
I'm gonna change the volume on that part. It's like, I have dick lice. I have dick lice. I have dick lice. Dick lice. Dick lice.
Dick lice. So now I guess you guys know why I don't want my health records on the blockchain. So Gollum. I don't know anything about Gollum. All I know. I'll tell you everything I know about Gollum. It's the name of the guy in Lord of the Rings.
Smeagol.
Schmeagol. His name is also Gollum.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with the coin?
No.
Exactly. It's like Cthulhu offerings, but for
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Keep you safe from.
I know also the
It's
word
like
Gollum,
precious.
like a golem is like one of those Notre Dame things.
Oh.
A golem is like a stone statue of like a gargoyle thing. It's also called a golem.
Yeah.
It's also
That's not what this is.
what was that game? Clash of Clans? They had a golem. It was like a rock creature that would smash things.
There you go. Yeah.
So, a lot of different things.
Lots
that
of
golem-
business use cases for the word golem.
Exactly.
So let's do a whole show on what Gollum is not.
But basically, Gollum is just a supercomputer and Airbnb for the blockchain, which I don't really get.
Well, okay, no, it's not Airbnb
I get the
for
supercomputer
blockchain.
part.
It's Airbnb for computer resources. So if you have some extra hard drive space to rent out, or if you have some processing power to rent out, or RAM or whatever you have, you can download their wallet, hook up to their blockchain, and you can send that, say, processing power out to their ecosystem, which gets put on a node, And then when someone uses that resource, the processing power, the RAM, the hard drive space, whatever that person's needing, you get compensated in Gollum in their coin. So you get paid for leasing out your computer resources. So it's an Airbnb for computer resources, but with that, it also creates a supercomputer, a decentralized supercomputer with all these different computers connected to the network, contributing computer resources. Say what?
I said, is it a quantum computer?
Not yet, but maybe. I mean, maybe one day.
Use it to hack Bitcoin? Hack SHA-256?
Wouldn't that be ironic?
Don't you think?
That would be a little too ironic.
So there's a lot of things I like about Gollum, but it seems to me, because I've kind of followed Gollum for a little bit, and it seems to me in the last, say, 6 months or so, there hasn't really been a whole lot of work being done. Like, they don't seem to be keeping on track with their roadmap. They've been in this brass stage for a while. They kind of name their versions. There's a brass, there's a clay version. I think the next one is supposed to be stone.
Makes sense. Stone Gollum.
But it hasn't been released for a long time. So I don't know. It seems like since the April time period, there really hasn't been a whole lot of work done. And so I don't like businesses that kind of just don't do much. And maybe they are. Maybe they're working on the back end and not being that active on the social media and stuff. But it just seems like they better pick it up. They better pick it up because their coin's not doing too well. I think it's a great idea. Being able to like lease out computer resources, I think it's an amazing idea.
But it takes a lot of the storage coins to the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like think of
Sia Coin's your favorite, isn't it?
Yeah. What's
Sia,
the one that's used to it's like proof of capacity using hard drive space? Burst, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean if you could lease out your hard drive space through that, I don't know how they would work together. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Investment wise, I don't know. If you like the idea, then I think it's definitely a great use case for blockchain is leasing out your
resources.
Yeah, leasing out your computer resources and connecting them all to create this supercomputer that destroys us all.
There you go.
And maybe it'll spare you if you use Gollum.
So, I mean, this isn't investing advice, but I'd say if you like the idea that they're trying to create here, then, invest in it and wait 5-10 years. I think they got a good idea here. Definitely. We'll see if they can make it something.
If Gollum Skynet hasn't killed us all by then.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it make something out of itself. And one of the things that I know all of us want to see make something out of themselves are 300 level market cap coins. And that brings us to our 3-on-3 fast break. That's where each week we pick 3 coins from the 300 level market cap and make a pitch for that coin. We're going to give you an overview of that coin. We're going to talk about the price, the market cap, the supply, a little bit about what it does, what it doesn't do, and what potential it has for the future. I'm going to go first just to flop it up.
Shake it up.
Just to shake it up. Shake it up. I've opened my camera and I've opened my calculator. I'm trying to open up my damn timer. Everything on my phone I can possibly open up. Okay. All right, my time starts now. Okay, 3-on-3 fast break. My coin from the 300 level market cap is 4 PHORE. Not poor, which I thought it was originally. That was poor. I thought it was a poor name for a coin.
Like Fat, PHAT.
Yeah, it's like pretty hot and tempting cryptocurrency. For PHORE, PHRA is the name of the token. It's a PHR. Website https://4.io. It's $1.28 currently. It's down 4% over the last day. 17 million market cap, 13 million circulating supply. This is going to blow your mind, the things that I tell you about FOR, but I just want you to sit back and soak this in. It's got reliable and quick transactions. It's got private and transparent blockchains. It's got rewards for your participation. You can earn rewards basically by participating in the FOR network. It's like interest payments, or essentially kind of like gas. It has a decentralized marketplace coming soon, of course. All 300 level market cap coins have a decentralized marketplace coming soon.
Definitely. They're all creating cryptocurrencies, like lots of dApps. All of them are doing that in 300 market cap.
Every one of them. Yeah. And that brings me to my next unique factor. They have decentralized applications. Or
See?
apps.
I told you.
Yeah. And they anticipate widespread
accessibility
and ease of use for the cryptocurrency.
How can
I don't know. There's nothing special about this. It's just I think they're hoping to be the next dog in the fight. They have the classic website when you go to 4.io where the mouse like manipulates the logo, around the chain, and there's essentially a bunch of nodes.
Yeah. So we've done like 24, 23, over 23 on threes at this point. And one thing I noticed
75 close to
is that it's either
person is designing all of these websites.
Yeah, not just that, but it's either a great idea that we kind of haven't heard of yet, and it's just kind of starting out and it's only raised a couple $1 million in market cap, or it's the same idea that a million other coins are trying, and they're just wording it like we're the fastest transaction and we have the lowest transaction fees and we can create dApps, and they're just doing the same thing that other coins are doing. So it's like, from what I see from these low market cap coins, it's either or. It's either a great idea and they're just starting out, or it's a cryptocurrency that has been done a million times over again, and they're just kind of trying to
copy paste.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm definitely going to invest in.
My pitch for FOR is go out and get you some FOR.
Yeah.
If you just want a blind bet on something to be successful. Now, in January of last year, I think anybody that was in the crypto space knows you could have bought a buttload of FOR and then made a killing.
That's got to be 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm way past 3 minutes. But my 3 minutes hit when Hesto was talking. So I don't know when the thing goes.
We'll do it then. I'll stick it in there.
All right. Okay. All right, Hesto, you're up. Your time starts now.
All right. This week I'm doing Karma. Not to be confused with Karma Token or Karma Coin, which I think is
Karma Chameleon.
I think is one of the huge barriers of entry for this coin is there's 2 or maybe 3 other cryptocurrencies called Karma or has Karma in their name that don't even exist anymore, but they used to. So that's not good, just because when you're trying to research this thing, it's hard to find because there's other cryptocurrencies with the same almost identical name, and they're higher up the Google algorithm where it's kind of hard to find. But okay, so Karma, let's go over the little statistics first. Karma is right now it's a 0.006. That's what it's trading at. Its website is karma.red. Market cap is $12 million. Circulating supply of 1.7 billion coins and a total supply of 3 billion Karma. So what Karma is basically a decentralized lending platforms for small to medium-sized businesses. So what they're trying to do is be a cross-border, peer-to-peer solution for small to medium-sized businesses that need funds. So it's a lending platform. So you can think of it more like say a company in Kenya, they're a startup and they have a really great idea, but they can't get funding. They can't get any investors to contribute to their company because there's some people in the U.S. that are thinking about contributing, but they have to go through so many legal loopholes that they say, screw it, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just find another company. Well, Karma is trying to make it easier that you don't have to pay as many taxes. You don't have to go through as many legal loopholes because it's on the blockchain for that Kenyan company to receive lenders that are going to invest in their small company. They're trying to make it easier to do that border, across borders, peer to peer, instead of going through some large corporation lending platform. So, that is a real problem, the lack of access to investment capital for small and medium-sized businesses, especially like third world countries where location is just really hard and they have to kind of rely on like local lenders. This would kind of open up the space to, global investors. So, it's super cheap right now. If you want to invest, it's like 0.006 cents. I think they have a good idea. I don't know. I see the same problem with Gollum.
Alrighty. Good points. That brings us to our very own Dustin Prater. Dustin, what's your coin for your 3-on-3? Your time starts now.
All right. So my coin kind of has an unfortunate name. It's spectre.ai dividend token. So I feel like maybe they could streamline that a little bit.
It's like naming your child Antarctica.
Yeah.
Vector, what was it?
Spectre.ai dividend token. SXUT. The website is spectre.ai. It's got a $2 million market cap right now. There's 24 million in circulation, 42 million total supply, and it's tradable on Ether, Delta, and DDEX. But it itself is a trading platform, but it's more for trading other assets. So you can trade all major currencies, cryptocurrencies, stocks, commodities, futures, all that kind of stuff on there. And it's basically a decentralized trading platform for stuff other than cryptocurrencies. So they use Ethereum smart contracts to set up trades, and you can trade with another person. You don't actually have to deposit your funds onto their platform. You can set it up so it trades them directly from your wallet. And when you set up the contract or the trade, you trade directly with another person or a decentral autonomous liquid pool that they have set up as well. So it's pretty interesting. There's no brokers. There's no, fees from managers and all that kind of stuff. The only fees that you're going to have are, traded through the website. It uses a smart contract, so it's pretty secure. How much time do I have? 2 minutes. It's fast, and I think it's pretty interesting. I think we've talked about trading platforms for cryptocurrencies in the past, and I haven't actually used this one. And when we discuss them, decentralized platforms always tend to be kind of clunky and difficult, and maybe they've changed since then. So that would be one thing that I would be concerned about. But you only need $10 to set up an account. So I'm actually going to take a look at it and see what it's all about. Any questions?
Yeah, definitely.
What are its business use cases?
Trading platform. None whatsoever.
What's a CFD? What's a CFD?
What's a what?
A smart CFD.
I don't know.
On their website, it says trade smart options and zero leverage smart CFDs.
Certified fat. That's your time.
Oh, it's a derivative trading. It's a form of derivative trading.
Yeah, sweet.
I'm gonna go with certified fat dog.
Thought you were going another way with that.
And CFDs are illegal in the U.S.
So I will be trading those.
On a BPN.
Yeah, because I am not in the U.S.
No, we're all based in the Caymans.
We're all Cayman based. That is absolutely true. And what's sad but true is this about wraps things up for this episode of the D. Thank you guys for listening all the way through. We appreciate everybody. Be sure to send us comments. Stay tuned next week. We're going to attempt to interview someone from something. So stay tuned to find out if that's interesting or not.
I give you a hint on that. It's gonna be.
I'll give you a little update. It might be.
It may or may not be interesting.
But what's most important is that we will all be back here again next week. Same decentralized day, same decentralized time. Yes, I stole that from Batman. Pretty sure Adam West just died, so I don't know that he's going to be suing me.
6 years ago?
Like years ago. Yeah.
Well, he's still alive and well on Family Guy.
And in our hearts.
And in our hearts. And digitally reproduced in a cryptocurrency.
Put Adam West on the blockchain.
There you go. Adam West on the blockchain. Same bat time, same bat place. Check us out, guys, at DTalk Podcast on Twitter and Facebook, Decentralized Talk on iTunes and iHeartRadio and Music Coin. Links to the website in the description below. Stay decent, cryptos.